I'ma fix her edges and then they gonna know me in this industry. Hey everyone, my name is Alana with Screen Queen Reviews, and today I'm gonna do a review for the TV show on Netflix for Fatethewinxsaga. So this is a live action adaptation of Nickelodeon's Winxclub. I never watched the cartoon, so I didn't even know about it till this was coming out. It looks super cool, so I wanted to watch. It follows Bloom, our main character, as she adjusts to life in the other world, where she must learn to control her dangerous magical powers. Before we jump in, for those who have watched my channel, thank you, welcome back. And for those joining us, I hope you enjoy hearing my thoughts on this TV show. Please like and subscribe below. Also, find me on all social media platforms at Screen Queen Reviews. This is not for kids. They did so much cursing and just unnecessary verbiage, and not necessarily, didn't have like sex and things in there, but just, you don't want your children to hear these words, okay? And they put so many of them in there in the most unreasonable places to prove to us, the viewer, that this is not for children. This is definitely for like the young adults. It gave me straight Vampire Diaries vibes, which is pretty cool because when I looked into it, one of the producers for Vampire Diaries is actually producing this show. So that is exactly the vibe that he was going for. I did hear some things about casting issues and I looked into it. I don't think it affected the show as much as people were saying that it would. Musa, one of the fairies, one of the main characters in the Winxclub, she was supposed to be Asian. Like, she's Asian in the cartoons, and they picked someone with, she has unique characteristics, but she's not Asian, but she's seen as Caucasian. Terra, apparently, this is a new character, Terra. Apparently in the cartoon, they're named Flora, and there's a comment about that. I could not find it for you guys, but in the first episode, she says something like her mother or her sister is Flora, so that might be someone we see in later episodes, but they were a Latin character, and she's not Latin in this at all. Like, she's not Latino. Aisha, she's a Black character. They made her a Black character in this, but y'all, when I tell you, I was so disappointed in her edges. Y'all did not have to do this girl like this. There had to be somebody in there like us to lay her shit down. You see this? To lay her shit down just for a moment for the show. There was like one scene where I can see somebody was just trying to get their moment, like, I'ma fix her edges and then they gonna know me in this industry. Like, there was one scene. It was like a split second and you could tell they probably split up the filming and it was just back a mess again, okay? She could have just did it herself, but I'm sure they were just paying people. They really Michonne Walking Dead her. They really Dr. Dre'd her, like from The Walking Dead. I don't know if y'all still watch The Walking Dead. I do. Even with the hairstyles, and they try to add a little bit of blue because this is not really a spoiler, but she's the one that does water. Like, she's the water fairy. And they try to put little blue pieces in her hair, but it like wasn't enough. They had her braiding her own hair and the braid looked a mess. Like, it looked a mess. Okay, I have to stop. I can go all day talking about that. Y'all, if you watch the show, just ignore her hair. It was only 6 episodes, which I wasn't really mad about. It wrapped up pretty nicely. But it gave me Harry Potter vibes. If you know Order of the Phoenix, it really gave me heavy Order of the Phoenix Harry Potter vibes. So if you watch it, you will see what I mean. Most of the characters kind of irritate you in the way that a cartoon character would. More so in that when they make them mean, they make them overly mean. And if they're sad, they make them overly sad. Like, they really exaggerate the emotion of what character type this is supposed to be. But you still find them likable in some way because when they band together, you see the unique personalities. But I ended up really liking all of them. There was only one, the light fairy, Stella. She was annoying, but she had a moment where I was there for her. And that's what you like to see out of a show, you know? Terra, she was everything, okay? Everything she pulled me in. She told them off. She did what needed to be done. She put them in their place, okay? Everything, okay? Bloom is our main character, and she has lived in the human world her whole life. She comes to the other world. Her first day of school, she's here. She meets the fairies. She goes to her wing. They start taking classes and stuff. And she did it because of something that she did in the human world that she's just really trying to recover from, and she wants to learn control, which is very responsible of her. And while she's there, she finds out things about herself. Like, I'm invested in her. It really made it happen in a way that even jerked. Like, I had a tear come down for Bloom. The graphics, very cool. You see decapitated heads, and the enemy, those fast moving zombies. I can't do fast moving zombies. Like, I know I've talked about The Walking Dead already. I can do Walking Dead zombies. I can't do like World War Z zombies. So that's what they kind of seem like, and it freaks me out. But the graphics were actually really good. Like, seeing them do their magic with the water and everything, it looked so realistic. And they were using it in realistic ways and teaching it in realistic ways. And plus, they made a comment about Harry Potter that they're like way cooler because they don't need a wand. You know, you always have to have the student that's like the bully. Like, she's actually pretty badass. You hate the lover, love the hater, but then you realize that the bad guy really ain't that bad and she's not the only one. So I like the complexity of that. You never know who's really bad, who's really good, and who's on your side and what their intentions are. Those are my overall positive thoughts about Fate. Now, I don't want to have you guys going in like, oh, this is the best show in the world. There were some things that just annoyed me about the show. For one, I can tell they're trying to target the young adult audience. But when I'm watching a show and I can't tell if these kids are in high school or in college, we have a problem. Like, there was a scene where the headmistress literally told one of the students to go to bed because they were drunk. Where they do that at? Where's security? Speaking of security, how y'all got first years, this your first time at this school, and all of a sudden you're guarding like a high profile enemy? What? Where they do that? Where is security? You know, there were some moments that could have been really epic fighting moments that didn't really read well on the screen because y'all act like y'all been in the school not really teaching these kids anything. Like, I probably saw one classroom scene the entire 6 episodes, and none of these kids were prepared. And it's not all of y'all first year. This school has been here for hundreds of thousands of years. What have y'all been doing in teaching these kids? I was a lot disappointed in those parts just because this is not, like, what have y'all been doing? Y'all have just been literally sitting here. It's like kids during COVID. Y'all just sit, you ain't turning your work for the week. That's what these kids were doing, apparently. They were doing nothing but partying and drinking. There are some other people, there are guys in this, you know, all the fairies. There are male fairies. They're not all female fairies, but they have these people called the specialists, and apparently they're fighters, but they just seem purposeless. Like, they were eye candy, and there wasn't really, again, young adults, but they were there for a reason. Of course, Bloom has an interest and stuff like that. You know, that classic, what they do. And I actually looked up the Winxclub, and like, it's gone on for a couple seasons, and now people are like getting married. I guess they're getting old enough, but it just didn't sit right with me to understand how old they really are and what their responsibilities are. And maybe things are just different in the other world, but no one clearly explained this to me. So those were my only gripes about the show. But I'm invested. When season 2 comes out, I will be doing another video letting you guys know what I thought of that as well, because it was good enough to watch the 2nd season. I hope you guys listened to my insight, enjoyed my review. Make sure you like and subscribe below on YouTube, and look out for any other videos that I have coming up. And again, follow me on all social media platforms at Screen Queen Reviews. Thank you guys. Bye.